Welcome to today's broadcast. No matter what kind of day you are having, please remember that God is big and He is good. He is bigger and better than you think. Now, how would you like to try to explain God to a bunch of intellectuals hungry to hear the latest new thing, who just sat around all day and talked philosophy and religion? And yet, that's exactly what Paul did when he engaged the Epicurean and Stoic philosophers of his day at the Areopagus in Athens. Paul persuaded many of the nature and whereabouts of God the Father in this crowd of skeptical Athenians and foreigners. We read in Acts 17:22 through 28. Then Paul stood at the midst of the Areopagus and said, "Men of Athens, I perceive that in all things you are very religious. For as I was passing through and considering the objects of your worship, I even found an altar with this inscription, 'To the unknown God.' Therefore, the one whom you worship without knowing Him, I proclaim to you. God, who made the world and everything in it, since He is Lord of heaven and earth, does not dwell in temples made with hands. Nor is He worshipped with men's hands as though He needed anything, since He gives to all life, breath, and all things. And He has made from one blood every nation of men to dwell on all the face of the earth, and has determined their pre-appointed times and the boundaries of their dwellings, so that they should seek the Lord in the hope that they might grope for Him and find Him. Though He is not far from each one of us, for in Him we live and move and have our being, as also some of your own poets have said, for we are also His offspring." We know from Acts 17:31 that Paul is referring to God the Father in this passage. God the Father is the Lord of heaven and earth, and He is not far from each one of us, for in Him we live and move and have our being. Our Heavenly Father is definitely not confined to just a presence in heaven. Not only is He the Lord of heaven and earth, we also know from Psalm 24:1 that the earth is His and the fullness thereof. We know as well that we are not separated from the Father by any space between heaven and earth. He is not far from each one of us, for in Him we live and move and have our being. He is in fact our dwelling place, as we read in Psalms 91:9. So what was Jesus referring to when He talked about His Father's house? We read in John 14:1 through 4. "Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go and prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also. And where I go, you know, and the way you know." If God the Father is the Lord of heaven and earth, and if the earth is the Lord's, isn't it possible that His house is not confined to heaven, but extends to this earth? For more, please visit givemethatmountain.org, and you have a wonderful day.